Your child watches you tap your phone at the checkout. The light flashes green, and you walk away. Nothing left your hands. Nothing made a sound. To your child, that might as well have been magic, and that is a problem worth solving today. Because here is what behavioral researchers have found. When we pay without touching physical money, something called the pain of paying shrinks. That is a real, peer-reviewed concept, the negative feeling we get when we physically hand something over and watch it go. Cash triggers it strongly. A tap barely triggers it at all. For adults, that reduced friction already influences spending. For children who are still building their very first mental model of what money even is, the effect can be even more disorienting. Research from the UK Money and Pension Service confirms that without hands-on experience with physical money, children can genuinely struggle to connect digital transactions to real-world consequences. And yet, so many of us wait. We assume the money conversation belongs later, when a child earns their first paycheck or opens their first account. But research says starting early is exactly what shapes healthy attitudes, values, and habits. The good news? You do not need a curriculum. You need a few everyday moments and a little intention. Let's start with the youngest children, ages 4 to 6. At this age, abstract is useless. A number on a screen means nothing. A coin leaving a hand means everything. Set up a pretend shop at home. Grab some household objects, write prices on little scraps of paper, and give your child a small pile of real coins. Have them count out the coins, place them in your hand, and walk away with their purchase. That moment of physically handing something over is the whole lesson. They feel money leave. That feeling is the foundation. Now here is a technique you can start using this week, at any age. The next time you tap to pay while your child is with you, come home and immediately remove the equivalent from their piggy bank or a small jar you keep for this purpose. Take out those coins or notes in front of them and set them aside. Say, "That is what left our family when I tapped just now." Watch their face change. That is not dramatic. That is not punishment. That is just making the invisible visible, which is exactly what the research says children need. Now let's move to ages 7 to 10. Children this age can begin tracking. Get a small notebook. A cheap one is perfect, and every time a digital transaction happens on their behalf, you write it down together. A downloaded game, a song, a streaming episode, an in-app item. Date what it was, what it cost. At the end of the week, sit down and go through the list. Ask, do you remember this one? What do we get for it? Was it worth it? You are not interrogating. You are building a habit, the habit of connecting a number on a list to a real choice that was made. This age is also when the in-game currency conversation becomes urgent. Many games give children currency with a made-up name, gems, coins, tokens, stars, that feels completely disconnected from real money. Ask your child directly, if you spent those gems, did anything leave our account? Then show them. Open the transaction history and point. Real questions deserve real answers. Show them a real bank statement or payment app transaction history. You do not need to reveal your full financial life. Just one page, 1 week. Point to each line and ask what it was. You're teaching them that behind every digital number, there is a real choice someone made. For children aged 11 to 14, it is time to let them manage something real. Introduce a simple 3-envelope or 3-jar system. 1 for spending, 1 for saving, 1 for giving. Let them decide the split before the money arrives, not after. That one step, deciding in advance, is one of the most powerful habits in personal finance. If they have an allowance or receive gift money, let a portion of it move through a prepaid card or a family account they can see. Let them hit their own spending limit on something small. The gentle sting of reaching zero in the spending envelope, even if the saving jar is still full, teaches what no lecture ever could. Across every age, the most powerful tool you have is not an app or a chart. It is the ordinary moment, the grocery checkout, the online order confirmation, the little notification that says a subscription just renewed. These are not interruptions to the money lesson. They are the money lesson. Get comfortable asking one question after any purchase, digital or physical. Was that worth it? Not as a challenge, not as a critique, just as a normal, curious question that your family asks. Children who grow up hearing that question start asking it themselves. That is the habit you are building. One important note, keep the tone neutral. Money should feel like a tool in your home, not a source of worry or shame. When children feel safe asking questions, when they can make a small mistake with low stakes and talk about it openly, they're far more likely to come to you with bigger questions later. That relationship is worth more than any single lesson. The research on children and digital financial literacy is still growing. Experts are clear that more work needs to be done. But the core principle is not new. Things that feel effortless do not feel real, and things that do not feel real do not teach. Your job is simply to close that gap, one small moment at a time. Tonight, try this. The next time you make a digital payment with your child nearby, at the shop, ordering online, anywhere, pause for 10 seconds and say, let's find the coins that match what I just spent. Count them out together. Put them in a bowl on the counter. That bowl is tonight's lesson. That is the whole thing. If this gave you one idea you will actually use, subscribe to Little Money Habits. Every week we bring you practical, research-grounded tools for raising children who understand money. Not just how to spend it, but how to think about it.